when we're sitting across the TV screen and listening and watching to the state of the world, each one has only one thing to say: when will all this change? And who is going to change this? And that's where spirituality gives the answer. It's not going to be a particular section of society, whether it is the political leadership, whether it's the religious leadership, whether it's the scientific community. A single community cannot change the world. At the Brahma Kumaris, we have a very beautiful slogan, a motto, a mission, and that is, when I change, my world changes. Can we say this together? When I change. No, you haven't said the first part. That's more important. Let's say it together. When I change, my world changes. I am the creator of my world. I have a choice what kind of world I want to create. I'm ready. You've all given a commitment without even knowing what needs to be done. So we are ready. And you know what? Everyone's seen you. Everyone's seen you making a personal commitment. I'm ready to change the world. When we are here together like this, a collective energy, who have the same intention, a pure intention to shift, then everything is possible. The world today, how many of you have contributed towards creating the world as it exists today? How many of us have contributed to the world as it exists today? Please show your hands. Right at the back, have you contributed towards creating the world as it exists today? Great. And what did I have to do to create this world? Nothing much. Just a little bit of ego once in a while, a little irritation when things didn't go my way, a little anger when people were not up to my expectations, a little hurt when people were not right to me, a little emotional exploitation of the self, repeatedly saying, I cannot forgive, I cannot forget, not taking care of my body. That's all I had to do actually. One did it, another one joined, 100 did it, 1,000 did it, and very soon almost all of us were creating that energy. And that's when the tipping point happened, and we created a world where we are saying stress is normal, anger is normal, fear is normal, competition is a way of living. Now we're going to shift to a world where peace is normal, unconditional love and unconditional acceptance is not just a word to be read in articles and social media and to say, what a beautiful quote, I must forward this to all my friends first thing in the morning. How many of us like the word unconditional love? Just listening to the word feels so good. Unconditional love. And I'm sure all of us want unconditional love. But when we were standing on the side which says, I want unconditional love, this is the world we created. Today we're going to shift to, I radiate unconditional love to people. And shift from a culture which says life is a competition to creating a culture where sharing, caring, cooperation is a natural way of being. Can I give a small suggestion? The screen at the back is for those who are the ones who are in the front have the fortune of not having to look at the screen. Can we do that? Shift. Shift. This is shift. Shift from our old ways of thinking of turning towards the screen and come back and move away from the screen, because most of us are connecting to people across the screens today. Most of us are meeting people across screens today. We could be sitting at home in two different rooms and messaging each other. And we thought that was enough. We could talk to each other, we could see each other across the screen, and that's enough for a relationship. A relationship was not about talking and seeing each other. A relationship was about exchanging vibrations and energy with each other. So let's create a shift. Take that head a little bit away from the screen, here, right in the front. And be careful, because after 5 minutes, you might find it going again. This is a shift, a change in habit. Anything done 10, 20, 30 times becomes a habit, and after we make it a habit, we don't control the habit starts controlling us. And then I say, I didn't want to look at the screen, but I don't know how I was again looking at the screen, because I am now not choosing the habit has taken control of me. And that's why we are here today, to change our old habits, the ones which are not good for me and not good for the world. In Hindi, there's a very beautiful line, and that line is Sankalp se Srishti. Sankalp, thought, Srishti, world. Sankalp se Srishti means my thoughts create my world. How many of you agree my thoughts create my world? Then the topic is over. All that we have to do is change our thoughts. The world will change. We know it all. We know it all. And yet we are not living with that awareness while we are doing everything we are doing. Let's take this line back today and live with the awareness always. Sankalp se Srishti. My thoughts create my world. Now, how do my thoughts create my world? Because I believed the world can only listen to what I speak, the world can only see how I behave. Nobody knows what's going on in my mind. Many of us have mastered a new way of living where we are very polite in our words, very sweet in what we say to each other, very courteous in our behaviors. But my thoughts, anyone here knows how to create a little negative thought but a very perfect positive word? Should I give an example? Lovely meeting you. We should meet more often. Next Sunday, let's meet for coffee. Picture perfect words. Thought. It was so boring being with her today. Next time she calls, I'm going to have a reason ready for not being there with her. Any of us know how to do this? A different thought than a different word? Yes? Yes? And then I said, I spoke perfect, I behaved perfect, I was perfect with her. Then why is my relationship not strong? Because I thought my words and my behavior create my world. Sankalp se Srishti. Thoughts create my world, not words and behavior. Let's fit the equation right today. We all create thousands of thoughts in the day. Medical science says about, on an average, 20 to 30 thoughts in a minute, but thousands in a day. And let's see the impact of each one of these 1,000 thoughts. Every thought I create, please fit it in carefully, the impact of every thought. Every thought I create, the first influence is going to be on how I feel. My thoughts create my feelings. So any day you're saying, don't know why, I'm feeling very low today. All that you have to do is pause, check, what was I thinking? Because if I'm not creating the right thoughts, I cannot be feeling nice. So my thoughts create my feeling. First effect. My thoughts create my feeling. Second, my every thought radiates to my body. My every single thought radiates to my body. So my thoughts create my health. Third, my every thought radiates to the person about who I'm thinking. They may be in the same room, they could be in another country. Thoughts are not bound by time and space. My every thought reaches the person who I'm thinking about. My every thought creates my relationships. Fourth, my every thought radiates into the environment. If someone had to come and check the energy of this hall today, if someone had to come and check the energy of this hall today, it would be the sum total of the state of mind of the 10,000 souls in this hall today. Do you agree? Yes? So if each one of us is calm and peaceful, this hall is going to vibrate at the energy of peace. If most of us believe that stress is normal, this hall will vibrate at the frequency of stress. Our thoughts radiate into the environment, create the atmosphere. For influence. Let's say it together. My thought creates my अच्छे से. My thoughts create my feeling. 2. My thoughts create my health. 3. My thoughts create my relationships. 4. My thoughts create my world. Now, if most of the time today I'm feeling stressed, worried, anxious, troubled, if physical health is an issue of concern for me, if my most beautiful relationships seem to have misunderstanding and conflicts, and the world is what we know the world is today, it's all starting from my thought. When I change my thought, and this is the power we have, if I simply change my way of thinking, then happiness, health,